In this video, we are going to discuss about a short story, a horror and scary one. So very and the title is "A Face in the Dark." So seems to be quite scary. Okay, yeah, it's scary also. So actually, this was written by Ruskin Bond. For ICSC students, this is a short story for class 8, 9 and 10. That book, every ICSC student knew about it. And even others can watch it as a story, not a problem. And it will be a very scary story. So be prepared. So, okay, we'll begin our episode. So, once there lived a man called, who was an Anglo Indian, a man named Oliver. So, he was a teacher and he has been working in that particular school, a school for several years. So, and he was a bachelor too. And every day he used to walk 3 kilometers, which is to Shimla Bazaar, which was 3 kilometers apart from the hostel, to buy some things and stuff that he requires. And while returning to the hostel, he used to take the shortest path, that is through the pine forest, that too in the night. Many of the other people do not prefer that way because it is where they believe there was ghosts, spirits, but they believe that. But Oliver was a practical man and a brave man, and he is a optimistic person. Okay, what is optimistic? Okay, optimistic is the one who believes, who doesn't believe in ghosts, and who is confident in himself. Okay, so he used to take that path every day, but others used to fear. Oh, okay. So one day, Oliver was just walking, taking the same shortcut. So the trees were fluttering all around that particular day. The trees were fluttering all around, and the wind was blowing heavily. But Mr. Oliver just was a calm person and just was walking that day. But he didn't knew what will happen. Maybe this is the worst thing that he didn't know, that this is the worst thing that will happen in his life. So what's that? So he was walking as usual, and while walking through the forest, he heard a small cry. Actually, not a cry. You say right. How to say? Yeah, sniffing. Okay. He heard a boy crying continuously. So he went to that boy. He hung his head down, closed with his hands. So Mr. Oliver continuously asked him, "Why are you crying? Why are you here at this time?" So he thought that he was his hostel student. So he asked that question. But the boy did not stop the cry. After continuous question of the Oliver, so finally, even his torch was dead. Sorry, I didn't mention. So finally, the boy took his head up. So Mr. Oliver was shocked. So it's because the boy was a faceless boy with no features. No nose, no eyes, nothing else. A faceless boy. Mr. Oliver ran immediately. He dropped his torch and ran immediately to his hostel, and however finally reached there. And he was breathing heavily after taking. Then he took a long breath, and there he said to his watchman all the situation that he faced. So watchman heard, and the watchman said, Sahib in the sense, sir, is this like this? So what the watchman took his lamp and showed his face, and even the watchman was a faceless creature with no eyes, no nose, no other creatures. So finally, Mr. Oliver, so not Mr. Oliver, sorry, finally, the wind was blowing heavily, and the light, the torch was dropped, and the lantern was dropped too. So, this is the end of my video, a short story. So, okay, the author has left up to us what might be the end of the story, the conclusion. He didn't specifically give what happened to Mr. Oliver, or what did he die, or something else happened. So, if you ask me, my opinion is Mr. Oliver might have been shocked and have been sentenced to death. And few of them believe that okay, this is all the assumptions. Well, even Ruskin Bond didn't write it. He left it to us only. Okay, so other assumptions were like the boy and the watchman were playing a prank, and they thought to fear Mr. Oliver. Some thought it's a real story. Something Mr. Oliver might have died. And that is up to you. So, what is your opinion? Please keep it in the comment section, and please do like, share, and subscribe.